1, 2, 3, live.
Renee.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
We are live.
we're here.
Finally, we are here.
We're gonna stay put.
Finally.
Woo.
We here.
Lots of deep breaths today, y'all. Lots of deep breaths.
This is
I'm
a very
telling
adventurous
you.
self-love Saturday.
Happy self-love Saturday.
Oh my
Let's do
God.
this intro real quick.
There you go.
We ready?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. We're ready.
Is the equipment ready? That's what are you? Is the equipment?
We're going to heap some self-love on our equipment. It's Self-Love Saturday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Happy
Feel the
self-love
love.
Saturday. Welcome in. Welcome to Me Moments in the Morning. Oh my goodness, y'all. Woo! It's been a time. It's been some things going on. Oh my gosh. We are at episode 67. 67. Who are you to judge?
We're gonna get you.
So today is our final day of this whole self-hate series. Not that we won't still talk about some of these things, but this will be the final day of that. And it's just talking really about judgment of ourselves, judgment of our sisters, and all of the derogatory effects that kind of happen, to our psyche. It's a trip, y'all. It's a trip. And if you have your Slay Bible on hand, which I've been doing too much, and it's over there. I'm not going over there. Y'all know, Slay, self-love awaits you. So I'm going there, and I'm going to page 83. Just a quick statement, really, and then a thought. And the statement is, we judge and prejudge people without even knowing anything about them. We think there's something wrong with them. Really, we think there's something wrong with them. And I'm just going to say that I desire for us to broaden our knowledge, understanding, and acceptance of the beauty and diversity of all humanity. There's a whole section that and I have read it on the show before, where we're talking about all of the non-normal people, all of the people who don't fit into society the way we believe they should fit into society. And so then they are penalized or criminalized or ostracized and just not able to, live their lives and to be who they are, because societally that's what we do, is we judge and prejudge people.
Yeah. I wonder why we do that.
Why do we do that? Why do we do that? And that's the whole point of the show, to talk about it. Why do we do that? Why do we have this tendency to just kind of get out there and have this I don't know, I have all these thoughts going around in my head at one time, but we just kind of go out and just have this outlook. And I think that part of it is the conditioning, because wait, let me share this with you too, because I was like, all right, let's look up the meaning of judgment. Right. And so I pull up the meaning of judgment, and I think this is Merriam-Webster today. Let me see. And it says, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. Wait, I'm like, wait, what? That's maybe what it's supposed to be, but is it really? Is it really?
The ability to make considered decisions and judgments and
considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. Is that what a judgment is? Is that what we?
I think so. I mean, now in the sense of I'm going to pass judgment in, like, say, a court case, and you are making people have made a case for defending someone, or and then you know we come to a judgment of, okay, that person is either guilty or innocent, but that's after all the evidence has been presented. Of course, I come from a little bit of a law background, so of course I'm going to think in terms of that. I know you mean personally in that regard, and we put it up for people to see.
No, I
Judgment
mean
means,
that
yeah.
too. I mean
Oh,
that too
oh,
from
you
a
mean
court
that too?
perspective, because some
Oh,
of that is
okay,
bullshit too. I'm sorry.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
all
It
All
of
right.
just
it.
So
is. Let's just call it what it
All of
is.
it.
It's not. I mean,
call a
really,
spade a
how
spade.
many? Huh?
I say call a spade a spade. There you go.
That's right. That's it.
So we can ask the chat because we see some folks here. Thank you so much for joining us, Belinda. And then we see Auntie Joyce.
Hey,
Good
Belinda,
to
Auntie
see you.
Joyce. Good morning.
And so with that thoughts process in mind, what does it mean to judge something or someone? We're going to ask the chat that. But for me, judgment means, in a personal sense, when you have come to a conclusion, or what you think is a conclusion, and then in addition make an assumption that's how it is. When I make a judgment based on something exterior, I look at Marie's hair and make a judgment that she doesn't comb it. And that's, my mom would say this: I don't know why you wear your hair nappy, because if you wear it like that, it makes it seem like you don't comb it. I'm thinking about what my mother is saying.
Right.
And I was like, my mother was very judgy and talking about how my hair looked. I was like, Ma, in New York, where I live, this is the norm. I look, I have hair that is natural. And because she comes from, the press and curl, we gotta, be presentable. But, I think back to the time when my mother was much younger. She was in the cotton fields, as now we're talking late 40s, early 50s. So cotton, people were still picking cotton back then. And that's not that far away. People think, oh, that happened in the 1800s. No, that happened with my family. And,
Right.
So, but just making a judgment based on, you just come to that decision of you're judging someone and saying, oh, or you could make an assumption that they're uneducated. They are stupid, or something very degrading. Or you can make a judgment where it reverses, and it's a good judgment. I look at Tracy's hair. I'm looking at your hair, Tracy, and I'm thinking, wow, she has great color. I'm judging her hair. I would love that color for my hair, but I'm judging your hair right now. And I think it looks good, but I make that decision based on what I see. She must take care of her hair very well because it's all even. So this is me. This is
Just
me
right.
off the top of the dome right there. So yeah.
Right. And it could be negative or positive.
Negative or
And
positive. Yeah.
I thank you, Auntie Joy. She said, but would your sensible conclusion be mine? Right.
Thank you.
That's
there you
what
go.
I'm saying. That's the whole point of it.
Right back at you.
Yes.
But
Yes.
sensible was interesting to use sensible, because some of it just sound I don't know, it just sound crazy. That's what it sounds like. Because it just seems like it's coming out of nowhere. Some judgment you get and you're like, where is this coming from? Right.
Right.
And if you take that to heart, that may drive you crazy. So not every judgment is worth even thinking about or acknowledging.
Very true.
Oh,
Very
and
true.
Belinda says some people just don't have good judgment and don't make comments from sensible conclusions. Bias comes in, some from upbringing. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. So our experiences alone, that's going to make a difference right there.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, my skin color is different than other people, and they make judgment based off of that, and so it's like those biases come into place. Thank you. I love my Afro puff too and my color.
Yeah. So I had to think about things that are superficial or things that's on the surface of coming up with a judgment. And I know dealing with how I grew up, and I'm just going to go back to what Melinda said, bias comes in. It's some from upbringing. And I have learned to judge someone based on how and what they wear, how and what they say. If they break verbs, my mother used to always look around like, why did that person break a verb? And I'm like, what does breaking a verb mean? Like, is that physical? She would say,
she ain't talking right. She ain't talking.
There is. Why are you using the word ain't? And then my mother would bring it to especially if I was in college, she would say, Val, I'm paying too much money for you to go to school for you to say I ain't going to, or I ain't, or you breaking a verb, I ain't got no. Why are you talking like that? And and I think she was trying to protect me from what she thought.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where it comes from. But see, I'm here to shatter that kind of stuff. I'm the rebel, so I'm gonna say ain't. I'm gonna say, not I am going to. No, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
And we'll go ahead and ask the chat. Have you ever felt judged to the point where you literally had to step up and say something? This person's conclusion about you was slight, negative, or caused weirdness between either the work relationship or personal relationship. Like you had to, as we do in the church, put up the finger. Excuse me, one moment. Let me correct you on this. Stick your finger up like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's horrible when that happens, but definitely when our upbringing and how people around us have either judged us, either positively or negatively, we take all that in, and then it gets churned around in us, and then sometimes it comes out blah. Sometimes it comes out great. Yeah. Because I don't know what judgment that Tracy made to say, hey, I would like to hang with someone like you, but it was a good judgment because that's why I'm here.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Because I'm a great judge of character.
I love it. Oh my God. Oh, Dr. Renee said,
nothing, girl.
Nothing. Or acts like. That's another one.
X, right. I just say less sometimes is not worth saying. Nothing, right? That's why I'm like, don't stifle my words. When you read my book, and it's so funny because when people read parts of the book back to me, they read it how they think I said it. And I'm loving that. I think that is hilarious.
I know.
And it's like, now that I know you a little bit, this is how I hear this in my head. And then they'll read a segment. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is it's just wonderful, kind of like listening to how other people perceive me. And I'm okay with it. Okay. Right. I can't. One of the things that I have come to believe that if we just learn to start accepting people where they are, no matter what they look like, I don't care, what even my idea of them from their past, or, if I knew them 20 years ago, that's a different person right now. I don't know who they are in there now. So if we can just stop with the judgment and accept people for where they are, it makes our lives easier, because then I'm not dealing with this whole prejudgment and all of this other, oh Lord, here she come, remember she used to be, no, I'm not dealing with that. And if we can come to that conclusion and operate from there, it really does make our journey easier.
Yeah. And for folks that knew me and make the judgment of, well, Val, I knew you back in the day. And it's like, the 90s Valerie is not the same 2022 Valerie.
Right.
I have evolved, I have changed, and I believe I've grown.
Absolutely.
And for you to judge me based on behaviors that you perceive or saw from decades ago is it's no fair to me. It's no
Yeah.
fair to where I am. And like I put it up here, what you said, accept where people are, and just come to that conclusion, and let's not be judgy and snooty and oh my gosh, why is
Definitely.
she like that?
So I
Why
want
does
to
she talk
shift
like
the
that? Mhm.
Thank you, Val. So look, I want to shift the conversation just a little bit and ask this question.
Okay.
What about self-judgment?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I know. Who? Me? I don't judge myself. Do you judge yourself, or have you ever judged yourself, and how did that make you feel? Right? Because if we're being honest and we're putting all the cards on the table, we want to talk about that too, because I think that we do judge ourselves, and most of the time it's not in a good way.
Yeah.
It's just me on the outside looking in. I ain't judging. I'm just saying.
Well, I am learning how to speak better to myself.
Yeah.
And to stop saying, when I come to the end of the day, I haven't accomplished anything. That's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Valerie, you are doing it. Yes. You might not have accomplished everything that you've wanted to on your list or check, to do or whatever. However, I literally have to say, no, don't talk that way to myself. Don't say that. I stop cursing at myself. There are times when I'm like saying very horrible things to myself internally, and it's like, if this came out of my mouth, yes, no, you didn't go there, Dr. Renee. Yes,
I did, Dr. Renee. I did.
Yeah, she did. She did it. Yeah, she ready.
Right.
Yeah, so I had to go, no, I'm not going to do that. If I'm refusing to curse or say crazy things to other people, let's practice that with myself.
It all starts with self.
It
Dr.
all
Renee,
starts
yes,
with
she said it
self.
right there. It begins with self. It always starts with self. Because listen, if you are this, if I even when I am judging someone else, right, that's a reflection of something that's not right in me.
Exactly.
Not them or what they did or did not do. It is a reflection of something within myself that I take issue with. And it's like, oh, well, why did I say that? Or why did I think that when she walked by? What is it about me that made me react that way?
Yeah. And I think it's very revealing to ourselves when we start to pay attention how we talk to ourselves, what we say to ourselves, and what we think about ourselves. Because if we stop the self-judgment, especially in a negative way, we won't pass the duchy on the left-hand side to someone else.
Left-hand side, right?
I said, it's
right,
a
we won't be doing
bitchy,
that.
baby.
Like,
I don't know what a music game. Devil. Itchy bitchy music make me jump, but no. I'm sorry.
Look, I done got Val on a tangent, y'all. Sorry. That's our squirrel moment. Every now and again, when you're over 50, you get these squirrel moments. You just like, and I know when you're under 50 at some time, but I'm telling you, they come more frequently.
So we don't want to pass
but
that on.
But that's what I love
people.
about girlfriend conversations too. We'll be talking over here about something over here, go over there, go that way, come back, and then we right back. Keep it in stride, baby. We still talking.
Back in stride again.
Yes.
Frankie Beverly and May. Sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to just start really paying attention to what we're saying to ourselves, so we can stop the self-judging of self, because it can be very I don't know. It can
be detrimental to your health, your mental health,
right.
your emotional health, your journey ahead. Like, we can't get these are things that we have to get past. We're talking about being on this self-love journey. Well,
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
talking about being on this self-love journey, and I know some of y'all on this journey with me. So as we're on this journey, and we're beginning to, or continuing to, peel back the layers of crap that we've taken on over the years and replacing it with love, and
Mhm.
replacing it with understanding, and just coming from a different space, that space of unconditional love, right?
Right. Right.
Then we just have to realize that this too is part of it. It's part of peeling back those layers, and we gotta let some of that go, right?
Yeah.
And
And
sister to sister, if we can start there with self, and then step with the sister to sister, because y'all know we do that. We do that.
mhm.
When you go out, you see another sister. Do you say, I'm like, oh, she look good? Like, do you say that? Or you like, oh my God, look what she got on. Look how she coming up in here looking like that. I wouldn't
And
wear that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all
I
know what I'm
know.
talking about.
I know. I was in the restroom. I attended a theater. I went to see Alvin Ailey last night, and there was a young lady who was tall, and she had on heels. And myself and my friend, we were talking about, oh gosh, my knees hurt going up and down these stairs. Oh, my feet hurt, and I was telling her how my knee was jealous seeing all this great dancing. And so the girl, she was in the mirror, she was at the sink. And then I joked, I looked over, I says, you remember when we used to wear heels and had the cute little short skirts and look all cute and do that? And I was like, my heels can't take it. And the girl looked around and she started laughing. I was like, yes, honey, you working it. Yes, honey. Yes, hunty. And she said, thank you. And I could tell she was much younger. And my friend, she
Yeah.
was like, Val, I can't take you no way. Something like that. Remember we used to be, because we used to wear heels. We used to, have our
Yes,
face
right.
all
You had to get
booted up,
cute with it.
being
Yeah.
all cute because we never knew, who could be looking.
We're gonna fix that need, because you need to wear some heels sometimes, even if it's just for the pictures to be cute and kick your foot up. Girl, you gotta do something.
But it was and then there was another young lady who had a beautiful African dress on, and I
Okay.
complimented her and I said, that is really beautiful. She's like, thank you. Do you know letting someone know and telling them, hey, what you're wearing or how you're looking or what you're saying is a blessing, or saying hello and a compliment? Do you know how
Yeah.
far? Now that is a judgment. That is positive. That is something
Right.
that can uplift someone's spirit. You never know where someone is emotionally. Good gracious, we're going through a pandemic. People have lost loved ones and family and friends, and
Yeah.
saying something, making a judgment, making a decision, and saying, you know what, I'm going to say something positive,
Mm.
because we have practiced with ourselves to say something positive to ourselves. We affirm, we have intentions, and
Yes.
we build ourselves up first, and then we're ready to
Hmm.
go and make those wonderful compliments and say beautiful judgy things like, girl, you are working that skirt. Oh
Right.
yes, I love that dress. And yes, 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 you better work that dance. Yes, that's right. Dum, dum, dum,
Dr. Renee
dum,
said,
dum,
"Go
dum,
ahead, Val.
dum, dum,
Where
dum.
them flats at? Where them flats, girl?"
I had my flat boots on. Yes, I had my flat boots on, but believe me, I had the Dr. Scholl's insole and the
Well, we got to do what we got to do, but we
Mhm.
gonna work on that. We gonna
Okay.
talk to that knee. We gonna bring it back to life. Yeah, we got to do some things. Woo!
Yeah,
We have
but
not, because
I'm
we asked
excited.
not, girl. You better ask for what you want. You want them knees better, don't you? You better ask. You better.
I'm asking. I am asking. I am so much asking. I am yes, I want the self-love to come upon my knees. Yes, because I'm making a judgment. I stepped some kind of weird way, and then all of a sudden I was like, ah! But now, hey, Marie, she's back.
Guess
Oh,
who's back, back, back,
she's
back
back. She's
again.
back.
All right. Are you here?
And we're not, and
And
she okay,
she's
and
out.
then she left. She came to say hi real quick. That's what it was. She
Right.
came to say hi.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, let's see. Anything else going on in the chat over here?
Oh, yeah.
Self-love upon knees. Oh, I'm telling you, yes. and any other ailment, ache, any of those things. You gotta love them back to life. You know, I'm telling you, it
I love it.
works.
I know.
I need
And
to do some knee work myself right now because I'm like,
me
oh,
tell
we're
you.
not going back there. So let me love on you. Let me tell you, I love you so much. I
Yes,
am
I'm
so
gonna say
grateful
that.
that you are here and that you have done all of these things for me. I can't.
I love you,
I
Nee.
just got to
I love you, Nee.
I love you. You have brought me through a great many things.
All right.
Absolutely.
Is this
What?
working, Doctor? Is this working, Dr. Renee? I'm self-loving my knee right now. I love you,
Wait,
boo.
let's see if we got Marie back.
Oh my God. I'm judging
See
my
what happens
computer.
when you leave us alone, Marie?
Chaos. I see. Chaos.
You judging us.
I'm
You
judging
coming
all
up in
of it.
here judging
How are we
us.
talking about
Don't
knees
walk
right
up in
now?
here.
I'm
Look
judging all of
look at
it.
the comment from Dr. Marie. I'm following her advice. She's a doctor. She says self-love upon
Self-love
knees. That's
upon
what
the
I'm doing.
knees.
On your knees.
Yes. Yes.
You're like every part. This is where it's gonna go. That's what
That's
you
right.
heard. That's the only thing
Your
remember I've ever said.
body has the ability to heal itself when you allow it to, right?
Mhm.
And it's gonna do whatever you believe it can do. If you believe it can heal, it's going to heal. Yes.
Yes.
Start
So
in your
it's
Keep
mind.
working on
That's
your
where we're
knees.
going.
Talk to it like it's your girlfriend. Yes.
Oh.
Work. Keep talking to it. I know you could do this. Yes. And love on it. And do your little soaks and all of that kind of stuff. Stretch, love, and stretch the knee. Yes, I'm telling you.
Dr. Renee's like stretch. Breathe and stretch. That's what it's gonna be. Breathe and stretch.
Hey, that need to be a show. Love Stretch. Coming to a theater near you.
love
Valley's like, sign
sensation.
me up. Sign me up.
Some people
Yeah.
might take that in a different direction though, so
Yes,
maybe
they
not.
would. Yes, they would.
We'll
Yes.
have to redirect that. Redirect
Yes,
the
they would.
crazy.
Right. All
Oh
right,
my
Marie,
God.
while we have you for however long we have you, we are going to pass the mic over to you because we want to know what your thoughts are about judgment, whether it's self-judgment, judgment of others. I know we've had these conversations, so I just want to pass the mic and just
Pass the
let's
mic.
see.
Well,
Inquiring minds want to know what
want
you
to know who
think
wants
right
to
here, right
know.
now.
Who wants to know? We start with self. I start with self because people are always judging. When we started, I thought about Love Ajayi's book. I'm judging you. She doesn't miss word. I'm judging you. Okay.
Wow.
So
Right to the point.
I am judging you. But I think her work was primarily celebrities because we get so used to thinking, oh, it's another person. Let me just judge this. And you get in the habit of just judging, which to me, all of it goes back to self. It's a projection of you because why waste all this time about I can stand this, I can stand that? I mean, the energy I see people spending on what they don't like about another person, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
Continuously, right? And so once you know you don't like something, why would I spend my energy just giving my energy to that, right? And then you don't think that's going to come back to you as well, where you're grumpy, you also see yourself in the same light. So you're constantly in this state of judgment, and it's never positive. Now, we're not saying everything has to be positive. Now, there's some judgment where it's like it's coming with love, but it's not judgment.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole different approach. But if you always judging yourself, you're never gonna hear the good stuff. Like even if we say something, you're like, "What? My hair? No, girl. It looks so this, it looks so that." But just simply taking it in, right? And also when it's the negative stuff, when somebody be able to say it and it sounds easier said than done to brush it off. But if you've done work on yourself, where other people's opinion should not have that much power over you, their judgment. It's one of those where I'm like, their opinions, to me, opinions are similar to judgment. To me, some judgment have no sensibility.
I'm sorry to laugh. I thought you were getting ready to say that thing that people say. Opinions are like a-holes.
Oh, wow. Everyone has one. Yeah. She wasn't going to say it like that. She definitely was not going to say it like that. No, she wasn't.
I was like,
no.
Wonder what her spin is going to be off of this.
You can translate. You can translate for me, but it's one of those where I'm like, don't waste time on it, but also don't do it to yourself, because if you're doing it to yourself, you more likely will tolerate from other people. And if you have that thought, You would allow theirs to sip into yours, and you will adopt it and believe what they're saying.
Yeah, I think people don't realize that it's something that they're doing though. Right. So I love having these conversations because it's like, do I do that? Like it brings it to the surface for people like, oh my gosh, am I that person? Do I do that to myself? And I wanted to ask this question. Have you ever judged somebody or like said something and then later on you got to know them and you understood later why they were that way or did that thing and then you just felt like,
context,
oh,
huh?
damn,
It's
I'm
all
sorry.
in
I'm
context.
sorry.
That's you?
Right?
Sorry.
You confessing?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It happens, but to me, that's a sign of growth. Because if you recognize that in hindsight and be like, where was that coming from? Or you also in a different place. Because if you're not in a different place, you're never going to recognize that past behavior, that past way of being where you're like, that's not even me. Like, why would I say something like that, to someone? And then now you recognize them because they show you who they are. And so you realize now this was like your judgment, completely your judgment. And to be able to know that can be shifted. It doesn't have to stay that way because once you see it, shift. Right.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of time and again, I love what Belinda mentioned earlier about bias and our upbringing because we take all that in. And it's important at some point as grown-ups to be able to say, look, I grew up this way, but as an adult now, I'm not gonna adopt what those people said to me. As much as you love them, but you don't have to take that in, but don't use that as an excuse to continue behaving, believing, and treating people a certain way because that's how I grew up. And so you can dismantle those biases, those misperception you may have. And again, it starts with you. 40 years
Belinda
ago.
said, yes, I didn't like my best friend of 40 years when I first met her because she was so quiet.
And I have a similar story. I have a friend of mine I've known for almost 20 years. And oh no, yeah, I've known her for 20 years. And I like refused to be her friend for the first couple of our years that we knew each other because I'm like, why is she so quiet? Because
God.
Yes, being judgy, completely judgy. And I mean, I pretty much would take a bullet for her right now. It's she knows who she is. Yeah. I love her to death.
I'm sure I've been there. I've been there because again, people, you think you're gonna find people who are like you, and then sometimes we resist the people that are coming in our life because we think they're gonna be a certain way. And again, that's what judgment block. They block blessings, they block opportunities, they block your own what you're asking for. A lot of times,
your own growth. Yes.
I want this. And then they come you and they're like, she's too quiet. She talks too much. She does this. And you're just like, seriously? And then you're like, I don't have, and then you wonder why, right?
Yeah.
It does block everything. So, but you're saying that about yourself in some shape or form, because there are people who are quiet, they act loud, but they're like the mouse. They're not really the way they're showing up. They're not the way you think, but it's a way for them to kind of blend in the environment that they're in to fit in. And we do that as kids, we do that as adults. And so sometimes we're like, what do they want me to be? So a lot of times people don't realize you code switching, you shifting based on the space that you're in. We even talk differently based on who's around. So imagine as kids.
You mean y'all do? Y'all do that. I don't do that no more.
Y'all don't. Everything.
I definitely did that working in definitely law firms. I had to drop every drop every broken verb or ever slang, whatever. I wanted to take all of the New Yorker out of my talk and stop saying coffee and goofy things. Yes. So we want to make sure that we've gotten that brief written. And then we get it over to the other attorney right now.
Yeah.
Like we have to say it very.
You change your mother's tongue real quick. You're like, You're like, thank you, Lisa. Have a blessed day. Have a wonderful.
There you go. Yes. And you might want to curse Lisa out. We don't know.
Those emails are the best example of code switching. You're like, hello, in that voice too, where you like, and then some people too, where there are some people where they're in a space where they can't be who they are because their voice changed. You're like, who is this?
And it's funny, like if they're in, like I think about the pandemic and how a lot of people had to work from home, and there was even a video about it, and it was like, you know, the girl is in the background and she talking to her kids one kind of way, and then she, yes, hello, thank you very much, I'll be doing that, yes, absolutely, see you later, bye. Hey, but I wasn't like.
Sit yourself down. What you doing? Get out of here.
So quickly.
I will get that faxed over and emailed to you right away.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Like, thank you for
Absolutely.
holding.
Thank you so
Have a
much for
wonderful
calling.
day. It's like, get to my God. And you're like, oh my God.
Get your nail behind. Hey, Jesse.
That's 3 different people.
Of course,
in like
I will be
3
right
minutes.
back.
Yeah.
But we are being judged, and that's the thing, you know, especially now we are being judged across the board. We didn't even add social media to the mix. We just talking about
Right. I'm like,
people.
we haven't talked about so many different parts and pieces, but they're really it's
That's a new one.
it's interwoven into the fabric of our society, our
It's
communities,
there.
and
Judgment is part of the culture.
Mhm.
It is.
But if
some-
we are first mindful ourselves, then we can start to shift some of these dynamics. We can. We can. I totally believe that. We can.
Well, start with ourselves. As you know, who would stay? Start with
That's
the woman
right.
in the mirror.
It start right here, baby. Right
In the
here.
mirror.
It start right
Us.
here with me.
With the woman in the mirror.
We're changing it.
Asking her to
That's right. We're
change
changing it.
away.
Yep.
That's right, though. So
Start with
true.
you.
So true. So listen, it is Self-Love Saturday. Take some time to love on you this day, even if it's for 5 minutes. I don't care what it is. Take some time to do something for you today. Oh, yes. And we got to shout out the Right Now Experience coming to Vegas, baby. Get here. Y'all got to get here. April 29th to May 2nd. We are writing our first anthology, and I am super excited about it. I hope you are too. Thank you to those of you who have already signed up. I only want a handful of people, well, 2 hands. I want 2 hands full of people, because when we come together in small groups like that, we can get so much more accomplished. And it's going to be about so much more than just us writing together. I mean, we are healing together. We are creating our legacies together. I'm like, I am so super excited. And we partying together. We celebrating together. all of that. All of that from Friday to Monday. I mean, and yeah, don't plan on sleeping much. I'll let you get a little sleep, a little bit, so you can be fresh when we're writing. But other than that, we ain't sleeping, baby. We're going to do some great things. We're going to do some great things. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, come on over to Clubhouse, because hey, we're going to continue this conversation a little bit. We're going to share our gratitude, our intention, our affirmations of the day. And Dr. Renee is coming so we can breathe and stretch. So y'all come on over there. Come on over. The link is here in the chat, and I'm pretty sure it is in the description as well. So come on over to Clubhouse. And thank you all for joining us today. Sending you all much love. Are we ready with that outro?
Yeah, we ready. I'm ready. Okay, let's go. Goodbye.